Yeah, so Rocket Partners is a full stack cloud native software development organization. We've been around for 10 years, founded by my buddy, close friend and business partner, Wells Burke, to really go out there and curate a client portfolio of clients for life, delivering very complex enterprise software solutions. We've grown over the years, largely on the strength of delivery-led excellence. So do a great project, word of mouth, get introduced to some other folks in a different buying center, new project, new budget areas. And so Wells was very fortunate to grow the business over the last 9 or 10 years organically.
Run your day with Runday.ai.
Dan, hello. Happy Wednesday. How are you today?
Yeah, we're doing great, Sanjay. Great to be with you.
It's a good day at Runday where we make a brand ambassador to help you find more buyers. Tell me about where you're calling from.
Yeah, so I'm calling from Atlanta today, the Rocket Partners office here, Piedmont Center, Buckhead.
Beautiful. I grew up in Atlanta. I went to Georgia Tech, MBA at Georgia State, and I'm in Fort Lauderdale today.
Excellent. I grew up, I started in Atlanta, grew up in Central Florida, spent a lot of time down in South Florida, back and forth between Orlando and Key Biscayne, and also went to Georgia Tech, studied industrial and systems engineering, and then got my MBA at Emory. So got some homie stuff going on.
Yeah, very cool. Slightly different MBA schools, but it sounds like we got a lot in common in terms of locations in Florida and Georgia. So tell me more about the company and what you're doing for your clients.
Yeah, so Rocket Partners is a full stack cloud native software development organization. We've been around for 10 years, founded by my buddy, close friend and business partner, Wells Burke, to really go out there and curate a client portfolio of clients for life, delivering very complex enterprise software solutions. We've grown over the years, largely on the strength of delivery-led excellence. So do a great project, word of mouth, get introduced to some other folks in a different buying center, new project, new budget areas. And so Wells was very fortunate to grow the business over the last 9 or 10 years organically. Like any business, customer concentration became a risk and the need to diversify. So I joined to stand up a go-to-market from scratch about a year ago. So call it April of 2025. Just when sort of the advent and the power of these LLMs was really starting to become real for lots of separate disciplines, especially in the area of software development. So our body of work, we're headquartered in Atlanta. We've got our consultants here. We're very engineering heavy, software architects, software engineers, and all up and down the stack. We run squads supporting very large enterprise clients. Our largest client is a top 5 C-store operator globally, where we've built above store order orchestration platforms, everything you can talk about in between, and integrating retail systems, loyalty. And so we really have a differentiated body of work when it comes to retail, CPG, and then really software development and delivering data products that focus on and supporting revenue generating systems. So that's kind of the Rocket, 2-minute brochure, if you will. There are a lot of other things that I'd like to tell you about here, since you probably have experienced, when Claude Code dropped last summer, July, August, we were sitting at the beach on the front porch, kind of going through some stuff, starting to really exercise it. And we had that kind of holy shit moment where like, wow, we sell brain power by the hour. Like our business model is severely disrupted right now in terms of extra software development capacity and expertise for our clients or prospective clients. So we went about immediately on a wholesale transformation of our own teams and how we were integrating AI into our SDLC. That led to a lot of velocity and the increased capacity from a finite number of resources. So we felt like we got out on the bleeding edge of how do you really apply the AI, not just for speed, but in a way that you can capture value for the organization. Out of that, we built a platform starting in about August, September of last year that we decided to commercialize and bring to market in the February timeframe. And that platform is called CodeVine. And CodeVine is all about helping software engineering teams capture, correlate, and compound the impact of agentic or AI-assisted development across the SDLC.
You call it the world's first agentic flow platform. Talk about what that means. And also in terms of the order orchestration you mentioned, are those connected?
So I'd say order orchestration, kind of separate. The deep expertise that we have in retail, in integrating disparate systems to unlock new client experiences. I'll say all of the experience that we have in supporting very large enterprises and working as part of distributed development teams has gone into building CodeVine. And when we say the world's first agentic flow platform, this is all about this is about helping organizations go from AI active to AI productive. So great, we have a whole bunch of developers. They're 3 to 5x faster potentially. We got code being dropped everywhere. We are talking to a lot of clients where quality is becoming a big issue, kind of the wild, wild west. And we created CodeVine to help create visibility across the engineering teams to say, hey, I created a script, a chat, an agent that can be effective in my team. And we then, how do we share that across the organization, especially when you start to scale up and out across multiple teams that are using AI to support applications as part of a broader portfolio? So right now we're using it tactically because we have visibility into everybody's token spend, how that correlates into code commits, what goes into production, quality, defect, a whole bunch of other measures. We're using it to coach our own teams on the more effective use of AI. And now when we look at the challenges that organizations and dev teams are having with runaway token spend, it's giving...
Right, I was about to say, it's like we've been in this era of token maxing where, when you optimize for one thing, that's what gets, that's what scales is not necessarily the outcomes you really want.
Yeah, exactly. And so I guess my background kind of smashed up. Wells is a builder. He's a 30+ year software architect, CEO, multiple serial entrepreneur, kind of like yourself. We were on a certain plan, for Claude that was allowing us to, a little bit of cost arbitrage, and that plan is coming to an end, and there's going to be no hiding. And so we've been working with the team for the better part of the past month with the visibility that we have with CodeVine to have all the team leads coach everybody up. And we have a list, the leaderboard of offenders that are spending lots of money, but it's not correlating into, quality work that's going into production. And so we're using it to navigate our own transformation, optimize, let's say, the most efficient.
And then are you going to make CodeVine a product, or what is it for?
It is. So we actually soft launched it at the end of April at the Technology Association of Georgia. They had
you used to be a member, yeah.
Yeah. So they had their Georgia Technology Summit. We submitted CodeVine, or an early version of it, to their tag top 40 most innovative companies. We got selected. Wells pitched on stage. So we made it to the top 10. And we're working right now with, I'll call it our lighthouse customer, to get them up and running this week. It's about a 40-person dev team on the West Coast that's doing some pretty advanced physics AI work. And they have the same problem. No visibility across the devs. The best innovations are hiding on people's laptops. They don't necessarily want to be Big Brother, but they need a mechanism to drive higher performance across their dev teams and have that cost visibility in the process. So it's been an exciting ride. We continue to grow the Rocket portfolio, doing a lot of data foundation work, new clients there, helping them get ready to exploit AI. Some of that traditional business continues to grow, selectively with new clients. And your timing is pretty good here, Sanjay. It's we're really starting to press the gas on our outbound campaigns, looking for our next 5 early adopter co-dev customers for the CodeVine platform.
And so when someone wants to embrace this, what does that involve? So they is it an app they download on their desktop, or is it a cloud service more?
Yeah, so it's from a deployment standpoint. So we run in the cloud. It's a typical software as a service application, although it can be deployed in private tenants. This first customer that we're talking with, that's about to get started, has some unique security needs. So we deployed CodeVine in their captive instance and then handed the keys over to them. And so we will collaborate with them on the data that they want to share with us. Else we're going to let them keep that. So it's a one-click command that gets loaded through the terminal. It's literally...
And is this only for Claude Code, or does this work with Cursor and other things too?
Yeah, so right now, Claude Code, the most unbelievably specific ICP would be anybody running AWS and using Claude Code.
Awesome.
We are actively working on... We do a lot of work across GCP and the Azure cloud as well. So we have in the roadmap both distributions that are in process for both of those. But we're really trying to stay focused on winning a couple of the new customers and validating that product market fit, if you will.
Very interesting. So if somebody wants to get involved, let me pull up your website here.
Yeah, CodeVine.
And then it has its own website. Let me switch to that. And so you're on AWS, you're on Claude Code, and then you can kind of adopt this. And what are the top 3 kind of benefits of using this to somebody that's already using Claude Code for a while?
Man, how about right out of the gate, visibility, the correlation between token spend and code commits. So we've built a real easy way to hook up, the Git repos to the control plane within CodeVine and allow people, like literally that one-click script that you would push to your dev teams to load. It's going to load up the 30-day look back on all of the logs and provide immediate visibility in a stack rank on the leaderboard of who's using what, who's spending what, how's it correlating. So immediate insights into how the team is spending tokens and how that correlates into productive work, if you will. The exciting piece really starts to come once the team gets on it. There's the opportunity to share plugins, or let's call it those agents, or even Claude Code skills, and publish those to the CodeVine skill marketplace. Leaders can decide that those skills are highly relevant across multiple teams, and they can surface those skills to other teams. So the compound aspect of what we built with what we call the grafting engine is where I'll say the AI really starts to take over and look at patterns across the dev teams and starts to suggest, hey, this is an innovation in an area that's working really well. We should look at applying it to these other use cases or dev teams across the organization. So those are a couple of highlights.
Someone wants to get involved and get access to this, should they reach out to you on LinkedIn or just click talk to us on the website?
Shoot me a note on LinkedIn, click on the talk to us button. We literally can hop on, do a quick spin through the platform and get somebody set up with a small team of, let's say, pilot, engineers in a 30-minute call. So we made it really easy. We do have plans to make, a trial version available so that it can be no touch on the website for people to get started, bring their data to life, and begin to see how they can leverage CodeVine to drive the next level of performance optimization across their dev teams in a way that the CFO will feel is, responsibly spending money on tokens. So we're early and we're excited. We're getting a lot of great feedback from our conversations, and we've got a few openings for our Lighthouse customer list.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Excellent.